A little over 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with an aggressive type of lung cancer. Prognosis was not good, but there was some hope for me if the cancer had not spread to the bone or brain, and if I could survive a surgery which would remove a significant part of my cancerous lung. I went for a brain scan prior to the surgery, and the good people of my parish prayed that the results would be good. When I came home and shared the good news that the brain scan was clear, one of our senior citizens very innocently said to me, "Father, I knew you would be okay." The whole parish knew there was nothing up there. Both of us laughed when we realized what she said. A few days later, as I prepared to leave the parish for the surgery, another one of our elderly widows approached me and said very sincerely, "Father, I'm not sure if this is possible or not, but I would be happy to donate to you one of my lungs if it would help." To this day, I believe it was the goodness of God and the great faith and generosity of people like these individuals and so many others who helped me to survive the whole ordeal. Today's readings from Scripture tell the stories of two widows who are willing to share all that they have and place their lives in the hands of God to provide for them. In the Bible, God has a special love and care for widows, orphans, and aliens. Widows have no spouse to care for them, orphans have no parents to protect them, and aliens have no country in which to seek refuge. Each of them needs to depend on God for care, protection, and refuge. In the Old Testament reading, God tells the widow of Zarephath that he needs her to share what little she has with Elijah the prophet. When Elijah arrives at her home, he asks her for a little bit of bread and a cup of water. She's initially hesitant since she has so little for herself and for her son. She makes a choice to trust that God will provide, and she gives all that she had to Elijah. She and her son are blessed with food in abundance for years to come because she was generous and had faith. In the gospel reading, Jesus arrives in Jerusalem where he soon will give himself completely by dying on the cross. Throughout the Gospel of Mark, as Jesus journeys to Jerusalem to suffer and die, he stops along the way to tell his disciples what it means to be one of his disciples. They often misunderstand what he has said. Now he has arrived in Jerusalem, and the last story told by Mark is the story of the widow who got it right. The scribes devour the savings of widows and seek their own self-interest. This holy widow gives all that she has, 2 small coins, and she puts herself in the hands of God, who she knows loves her and will take care of her. Mark gives us her as the ideal disciple to imitate. These widows become models for us, models of generosity and models of faith. Many of you in the viewing audience are likely widows and widowers. Many of you have been generous for years, and you are men and women of great faith. Thank you for your generosity and your faith. Like the widows in my parish and in the readings, trust that God will continue to have a special love for you, and he will take care of you now and in eternity.